G'day guys, just a quick bit of housekeeping before I get into this video of the ultimate little pocket light that we've found. I just want to touch on the fact that this is not sponsored or endorsed, and these are purely just our opinions. Okay, they're our opinions on a product that we think might actually be okay. Anyway, let's get into it. G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of On Point Adventures. My name's Brendan and today I'm bringing you a solution. That's right, a solution that I've found to my biggest problem of trying to find a reliable and useful pocket light. That's right, I needed a light that was tiny, powerful, rechargeable, and most of all, did a good job. And that was pretty hard to find. For too long I'd been jumping on eBay and I guess buying all the cheaper lights and so forth, and they just never did the job. They'd either break, they were too dim. Oh, the list would just go on, not going into it. So I went in search of something different. I knew I'd have to look at something slightly more expensive than the cheapies that I was used to, but I figured it could be worth the investment. Let's see what I found. So after I found what I wanted, the next bit was waiting and waiting and waiting for something I was pretty excited about because I was hoping it was going to do the job. And the product we found was none other than the Acebeam Keylite 500. That's right, this tiny, tiny little thing I was hoping was going to provide me with some pretty special results. And maybe it did. You see, when I unwrapped it, I looked at it, I went, holy moly, that is tidy. And some of the specs that these guys boasted almost seemed a bit far-fetched. First of all, what was most important was, of course, that it was going to be waterproof. And this little fella is IPX66 rated, so it can take a fair whack of rain. That's a huge positive. Next, all it was got to be rechargeable. Rechargeable was super important. And as you can see on the bottom right here, we've got this little door that goes and opens. And there we go, USB rechargeable. Now look at this. That clips in. I don't know whether you can hear that, but that's got one of the most beautiful, beautiful clicks I've ever heard. The other thing it had to do was it had to be bright. Okay, so it had to be bright. And boasting 500 odd lumens meant that we had a boasted range of roughly 70 meters. Now let me just quickly show you how bright this really was. Okay, so we're just packing up now. Let's just quickly check around the quad. So this is the Acebeam 500. And I mean, for a tiny little pocket light, how good is that doing? Just making sure everything's all right around here. Magnificent. That's insane for a pocket light. Absolutely insane. How good's that performance for a tiny little light? All up, let's just get into some quick, I guess, specifics. Up to 12 hours runtime, depending on which mode you want to run. And this has got various levels of brightness, including a strobe mode and defense mode. Okay, so it packs all the good little features of the big torches. You're going to notice, as I said, it's rechargeable via USB-C, IPX66 rated, so dustproof, windproof, rainproof. And you've got, as I said, this beautiful little button on top, which you put, illuminates green when it's on, and wear away. The other good thing about this particular light here is it recharges super quick, but it's also drop resistant onto hard ground up to 1.5 meters. At 19 grams, this particular light is super light and is fantastic for the pocket. Now, as I said, we'll just quickly get those specs out the way. Now that I've used this light, I can honestly say that this is doing everything that the cheaper ones won't do. Sure, it's a little bit more expensive with the price up the top there. But with price, you get quality in this particular instance. This little Acebeam has performed and hasn't broken when all my others have. That's a positive. All in all, I think spending the little bit of extra money on this potentially is great. But the one problem that you've got to always watch out for with this little lights like this is of course the fact that they are easy to lose. And that's why I went this really bright fire engine red, because I'm convinced that when I drop this, I should be able to find this pretty bloody easy. Guys, I know that it's a bit more expensive than normal, but the Keylite really does pack a fantastic punch. What I'm most excited is to get back online and actually dabble in some of their other products, because some of their headlamps and torches look fantastic. Now, once again, guys, I'd just like to quickly touch on the fact that this is not a sponsored or endorsed video. This is purely an opinion of our own. I think that gives a little more credibility to the light, because I had to spend my own money on this and it wasn't cheap. Anyway, guys, I hope this really quick little review on a little tiny light was helpful to you. Can be used anywhere, boat, quad, buggy, home, wherever you like, not gonna let you down. Anyway, guys, I'll see you on the next episode. Catch you later.